Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a background to a animation. So at the moment I have a 1920 by 1080 pixel document. You can do that by going to File, New, and then changing the settings. Make sure it is on pixel because that is the screen size. And I haven't really planned it, but let's sort of just play around with it and kind of make a nice background. So first of all, I'm going to actually fill in the background white. Actually no, I'll leave it like this. I'll leave it like that because put in. So if we put another layer here, we label that background just for now. Normally you would get a background layer, but I deleted that one. So now we have a background layer here and the stage there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in the wall. So to draw a straight line, you're using Shift and click. So you Shift, click, drag. So you're doing Shift, click. That's what I'm drawing in white. Just drag like that. So that is our background. It is going to be a wall because the animation I'm doing has shadow, so therefore it needs to be a shadow effect. I will be doing clouds and a sky up here. Just to sort of add to it, I'm going to draw lines down like that. Lines. If you make a mistake, just Control Z or go to Edit and Undo. But that's pretty much the start of it. Now to do the tiles of the bricks. So to do bricks, I'm just going to simply, first of all, get a sort of nice sort of I guess beigey colour, because that is going to be because that's going to be the cement, so we're going to go like that across, and we can actually do Control C, B. So once you have them all lined up like this, you're then going to start doing random down ones. So actually making it look like brickwork. What I've got to do to sort this out is just quickly on this layer, so under here, just quickly go underneath it and go underneath that one. I should now be able to select all of these individual bricks like so. And the reason I'm going to fill it in on a different layer is because I can then bevel and emboss it, and then bevel and emboss this layer to make it look like it's actually got some depth to it. So Now we're going to get a brick colour, so on the layer underneath it, do a bit more, so not too red, a bit more of an orangey, so dark orange, so about there maybe. We could change some of them, because some of them are quite dark. Just going to fill them in like that. So as you can see, it's kind of like a brick colour, and the cement is there too. So now, so select the layer, go to filter gallery. Okay, now we're going to go to texture. You can just sort of like have a look, see what one you want. So that's quite a nice bricky looking one. Try stylize. Stylize is not really good ones. Okay. Now what we're going to do is double click that. Go to bevel and emboss. We want more of a hard chiseled in a bevel. No softness. We want to change this to more of a maybe a brown. Change the angles. That. Take off the light. So one thing might be a bit weird is that the cement looks a bit too thick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that a bit. I'm going to end up making the bricks smaller because they look like huge bricks. So compared to the people, but we can easily sort of scale it and then duplicate it so many times to fill this in. So now we've got the bricks. Click OK. So on this layer, which is the cement layer, we are going to do bevel and emboss as well, because this time we are going to be doing outer bevel, and we're going to do some okay, no, we definitely want inner bevel. It's hard to see it. Soften. There we go, so it looks a bit more brick-like, like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to combine them. So we're just going to merge layers. Actually, that's just gotten rid of the bevel. So Control Z, we don't need to merge it. What we can do now is go here, free transform, and sort of make it a nice sort of brick size. So maybe a little bit smaller than that, so about there. Control C, Control C, Control V. So now we've got nice sort of brickwork. So we can just sort of line them up however we feel. So like that. Control V. A thing I recommend, which I've been doing a lot recently, is creating a group. So this will be wall, and then you're just going to go drag, drop, all in wall. Got everything in the wall, like that. We can now start doing the flooring. So the flooring is just going to be a grey. I will add some cracks in that as well. So we are going to do a new part. Grab the paint bucket. Wrong thing. didn't mean that either. Control Z. Either way, just select. You could use the magic wand tool, but this way is easier. Just select it all, paint, and I didn't even mean that. Control D, because it's over. So if we put it under, we can just do that to that, center, that to there. Okay, so we've got to angle it slightly, so a bit more. The center one is just going to be straight down, and that one will be angled again. Maybe a bit more here. So there's that. We can now use a thing called smudge. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to smudge it slightly to sort of give the depth, but not. That to that, that to that. This is on a different layer, just for now. Then on another layer just below, get the same color that you used here, and paint bucket. So what you want to do now is, back on this layer, so the one where you drew the lines. That's one thing I forgot. You've got to connect all of them. So you've got to connect from there to there. And then you should be able to easily select that, that, and that. Go back on the layer below. You can now move that, so you can now just see the outlines. And you want to fill it in grey again. So you've got that. Now you can go on bevel and emboss. So this time we want it more that way, like that. So like that. One thing I realize I'm doing, Control Z, global, don't do global. So cancel that because we want that still there. So that's one thing I made a mistake. Don't use global because global does change it. You want to leave it, so you want to go bevel and emboss. Turn off global use. Just kind of like move it around, change the size. Oh, it might be a bit too big. So turn down the depth. Turn down the depth. Turn down the size by a lot. There we go. So have a look at it, make sure it's how you want it. So you can kind of see that now that's going to be angled. Control, click OK. So now you can sort of see where the flooring is going to be. We can darken this bit up as well, because that's one thing we need to do. So you're just going to get the black, well not black, just like a grey, and kind of just sort of fill that in here. You can then smudge that, or blur it maybe. Smudge might be better, so we're going to quickly smudge tool. Shimmy that around. There you go. So you now have the depth to it. And finally, to move on to the background, just going to simply add another layer, this time behind everything else, and we're going to do a more like a different sky, because instead of your generic sky, I want to kind of like have a weird looking sky. Maybe a purple. This time I'm going to use, instead of the paint bucket, the gradient tool. Do yes, white to that, and just kind of not too much, but you want to just get the hint that there's white there. So like not too much like that, not there, but almost. Not there, come on. Close. So like that. So it's got the little like hint to the white being there. This time, so I am going to quickly go back on the bevel effects. Because this time, because this is on global, and I just want to sort of change the size up a bit. There are the pavements. So where bevel and emboss is on here, just sort of want to sort of make it a bit more flat, so it doesn't look too sort of steep, just a bit more realistic. Again, now what I'm going to do is not on this. I want to go on to filter gallery again. Just sort of like look at the effects that we can get from it. So obviously we're not going to do brick this time, but we're going to do something. Let's have a look. So we can change it to not that. Maybe canvas. That might be a bit better. So having it like this. Scaling. A little less. So I'm sorry, but you can't really see the window. You can't see the window on here. I don't know if it's the setup. So pretty much all I've done was filter gallery and then just played around with the settings. I'm using texturize, and on texturize I'm using the sandstone texture and scaling it differently. I just realised it's not showing up. On the other one I did it slightly different. So now you can have a look at it. You can see there's the textures there. Maybe what we could do is kind of add a bit of grass. Sort of coming up here, like a little bit of bushes and that. So if we go around, get my graphics tablet, this time go on brush, this time instead of this one, hard brush and too thick. I realise I've got to change that down a lot. I'm just going to draw out and draw out and down, and I'm going to fill that in. So now we're going to turn opacity down. And then with the rubber, just sort of okay, so I'm going to leave it as that. You can add anything else you want, but that's all I'm going to really add, because it's all I want as a background. Obviously there will be like health bars and all that sort of stuff around it, but I'm not doing that on this one, so this one's just going to be like this. And yeah, so all the fighting will happen here. So the shadow is going to be like where you see the people on it, and I had to add like a light bit because that's where the shadow is going to be. And obviously it's now done, so you're going to click File, Save As, and save it under whatever you want. You can't see any windows because I made a mistake, and you save it as a JPEG and save it as a PSD, so therefore you have both, and call it what you want. Mine's just going to be background for fight. Oh, well, background fight. Fight. And done. So that adds the realism a bit, and a bit cartoony still. So it's still 2D, but it's not like proper.